Turning now to the fight against COVID-19, the Oregon Health Authority is reporting 1,453 new cases. Sadly, it's also reporting 59 new deaths. When it comes to hospitalizations, 699 people are fighting the virus in the hospital right now, which is 31 fewer than yesterday. There are 173 patients in the ICU battling the virus, which is 14 fewer than yesterday. Also, in OHA's report, they said last week Oregon saw more than 10,400 COVID cases, with 24.4% of those cases being breakthrough infections. So the question is, with nearly 1 in 4 cases occurring in people who are already vaccinated, should vaccinated Oregonians be concerned about this? Fox 12's Drew Marine looked into it. She spoke with the local virus hunter to get his take on all of this. Drew?
Yeah, and he says there shouldn't be any alarm, and he says the reason why is we know that vaccines aren't 100% effective, so as long as there are cases in the community, vaccinated people can still be expected to get the virus. Ken Stedman is a biology professor at Portland State University, also known as the virus hunter.
The way the vaccines work, and incredibly well, is they work at about 95% efficiency, which means if you're exposed to the virus 20 times, and you're not vaccinated, you'll get infected every 20 times, every one of those 20 times. If, however, you're vaccinated, you'll get infected one of those 20 times.
Which is why Stedman says while 24.4% of cases last week were breakthrough cases, it isn't time for vaccinated Oregonians to panic.
You can be vaccinated and still get infected. These vaccines, they're COVID vaccines, they're protecting you against getting sick. And they're still really good at preventing you from getting sick, even with the Delta variant and everything else.
OHA says the average age for those breakthrough cases last week is 46. They say 49 of those were people living in congregate settings, and 91 of those cases were people between 12 and 17 years old. Stedman says the more telling numbers are the number of vaccinated people being hospitalized and dying. In their report, OHA says to date, 4.5% of all breakthrough cases have been hospitalized, with 0.8% of those dying, which he says goes to show how well the vaccine protects against serious illness and death. The average age for those deaths is 81.
Of those vaccinated people who are getting, really sick and potentially dying, most of them, not all of them, but the vast majority of them are much older. And for them, actually, the vaccines don't work so well. And that's why we have our third shot, particularly for people over 65 who have just facts of life, their immune systems are not as strong.
Last week, more than 75% of cases were unvaccinated people. OHA saying in their report, the rate of COVID in unvaccinated people is 4 times higher than those Oregonians who are vaccinated. Live in Northeast Portland, Drew Marine, Fox 12 Oregon.